after all my writing, after my productive day, I was like, Abby, you have to go and you have to go get the cat litter, but it's pouring rain. Hi, I'm Abby. I write YA fiction, and I'm sharing a little bit of my weekly writing vlog. So I decided to share some bits and pieces of my life in the past couple of days to kind of track my writing progress and narrate my creative journey as I am visiting my husband in the hospital, dealing with our 3 cats, and also working full time. So I hope you enjoy, and thanks. Hello, it is Monday evening. It's been a day today. Yeah, it's been kind of one of those days, but I did do some writing today. I'm really excited. I was able to write like 600 words of Project Summer, so I'm really excited. I got to get a couple of anecdotes for a scene down. So I'm almost through like chapter 11, which in the grand scheme of things for Project Summer, I am through about a third of the way through. So I'm still in the middle point. And I was able to use ChatGPT, which I use for brainstorming. And that gave me some really good ideas to write some words down while I was in the hospital today. So, rough day today. Husband is not feeling so great. And there's one of our cats, Gizmo, crying because I just got home at 9. So I accomplished multiple goals today. I did some writing. 600 words for me is quite a bit. So I was able to spend like an hour writing and really thinking about what comes next, because for the most part, I spend a lot of time just thinking before I start writing if I've paused for a long time on a project and don't know where I'm going. And so that was Project Summer. I will probably sit down to probably eat some food and maybe watch some Downton Abbey and maybe finish my audiobook of The Maze Runner, which I am doing, and I am gonna let this kid out. Hey, Gizmo. So happy Tuesday. It is probably gonna be a rough day today. I woke up late, and I'm gonna be late to go to the hospital with my husband, so that's fun. I'm making coffee, as you can see, and also breakfast. So hopefully we'll get some writing done in the evening tonight. But we shall see. I stayed way too late. I stayed up way too late last night watching The Idea of You, and I'm halfway through and I'm really excited. It is wonderful. I also finished The Maze Runner, so kudos to me, I guess, for being productive, but bad for me for not going to bed on time. Well, wish me luck. I'm going into the office to do some work and hopefully be really productive. And I definitely don't wanna do it. Good times. It's Tuesday evening and I just got done with work, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I was really, really unmotivated for a solid hour. I just had to keep pushing through. But then I decided to take a writing break, and that was really productive. I wrote a couple of 100 words of a really fun scene with one of my boy band members, and it was just pretty fantastic. I'm feeling pretty good about today. I'm about to go back to the hospital with my hubby to see how he is faring. Probably not great. As he deals with some of the side effects from the chemo and stuff. But yeah, it was for me, I feel like I got a lot of stuff that was really important done for my job. But also I was able to take space for myself in my office, which I'm not normally able to do. So this was a really good practice. I think I should probably start putting into place, is like finding time to write at work, which I used to be able to do, but I can't separate. I can't separate the two, work and fun and play and stuff. So I was able to, and just I put on my headphones. That cancels everything out, because I struggle with ADHD, and focusing is one of the things that I am really trying to work hard at this year, which oddly enough, for something to work on this year, it's a cancer year. It's a bad year, but good things are happening, and sometimes it's good to focus on the positive things when everything's going to absolute bananas. So it's been a day. I'm not really sure, in the grand scheme of things, what people mean when they say be authentic, but I definitely just drove through pouring rain to buy some cat litter because we were out. That was my one task I had to do after the hospital. After all my writing, after my productive day, I was like, Abby, you have to go and you have to go get the cat litter, but it's pouring rain. And I did it. And I carried 80 pounds of cat litter back to my car in the pouring rain. Got drenched. And I kind of wanted to just lay in a puddle. But anyway, I definitely I'm struggle busted a little bit. So I kind of decided I think I'm going to take tonight easy and not do anything. Finish my movie and do some self-care. I got wet, so like my tag on my freaking hospital tag, it got freaking drenched, and so now it's like sticky on me. So I'm probably gonna take a shower. That's right, buddy. We're gonna take a shower. But yeah, so today's Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. I'm home earlier than I usually am, so that's good. And if you hear my shower in the background, no, not shower. If you hear my washing machine in the background, I'm also doing laundry on top of it. Isn't that right, Fergus? Yeah, so hope you like Fergus's butt, because he sure does. See you tomorrow. So it's Wednesday morning and it's much sunnier than yesterday. So I am hoping today will be a little bit better in terms of the aura that was yesterday. I was able to finish The Idea of You last night, which was so fun. When it first came out, I was kind of freaked out because I was like, oh no, this book about boy bands has already been written. But honestly, I don't care. And I've learned over the years that you as a writer, meaning me as a writer, can only write what you can write. Like, only do what you can do. So what I uniquely can do is write characters that are really quirky, and I write good sibling relationships, and I think at least I write good friendships. That's kind of my thing. I love Maggie Stiefvater. She's my favorite author because of the Raven Boys. So a lot of the relationships that are in my novel are based on friendship rather than romance. I do write romance a little bit into the plots of my novels, but it's not often the main focus, if that makes sense. So it's more focused on the adventure or the journey along the way, for most part. Even my contemporary novel, it's focused on growth or coming of age, all that stuff. So I am not afraid of the idea of You anymore. It was a great movie. I did enjoy it. So I spent a few hours this morning on Wednesday with my husband working remotely. And then I went into the office. And yeah, today was hard. I didn't get any writing done, but I think that's okay. I was able to kind of engage in a creative way at work. So I had a really tough time just sitting down and feeling really, really overwhelmed with things. So what I did was I went online and I searched up some strategies for managing stress at work, and especially for caregivers. So I actually created like a little sheet, a tip sheet that was really quick that I could glance at. I printed it out, that gave tips on like breaking up your tasks into smaller projects and kind of listing everything that you need to do. So like as a project managers, right? So what I ended up doing today was I created an entire sheet of what I need to do for the next couple of weeks. And that was really, really helpful because I have a lot of different things in my job as I have a kind of a project management role, essentially. I spent most of my time organizing what I need to do for the day, which is actually, I love doing. It makes me feel like I am organized, but I also feel like I'm wasting my time when I am organizing myself. So like when I am plotting a novel even, or when I am not, and whenever I'm not writing, when I'm not doing the thing, I feel like I am wasting my time. But I know that I am not. I know that I need to set myself up for success when I organize my brain, because I'm a very visual person, and so I need to have some sort of outline as a creative person to work from, whether that be a task list, whether that be an outline of some kind for plotting, or a character template sheet. I use those all the time. Yeah, so I tend to be really structured, but flexible within that structure, especially in writing. So yeah, so that was really helpful for work today, and I'm hoping to get some writing done maybe tonight. I might take it easy because today was kind of hard getting motivated to even work. So I'm looking forward to maybe writing a couple words, a couple sentences tonight that I'm excited for. So I'm off to see my boy in the hospital. He's not been doing so hot today, or this week, really. The side effects from his transplant are pretty bad, so he's not really able to talk or do anything but sleep. So he's on pretty heavy narcotics, and so that's been really hard for him and hard for me to know how to support him. But yeah, he's getting there. He's improving. It's just excruciating in that process of waiting. So it makes being able to function, at least for me, being able to function on a day-to-day basis very difficult, because you have to walk into work, while your husband is sitting in a hospital room, kind of completely unable to do anything except sit and be very high. Yeah, so until tonight, I guess. So today is Thursday morning, and I'm feeling pretty good about today. My husband's white blood cell count is going up, so that's exciting. That means that he's kind of gaining back his new immune system, and yeah, I'm feeling good about the task list I made at work for yesterday, and I'm also feeling good about the little bit I got written last night, which was, and forgive my shaking of my phone. I wrote a little bit on my phone, like 150 words of a chapter, just to keep the momentum going. I find that it's really helpful, even just to write one sentence, like make that a goal. I know yesterday I was like, write one sentence, and that was my goal, and I ended up writing 150 words because I'm a little chatty with my characters. So yeah, hoping that I'll get some writing done today. I don't have any definitive goals. I'm just going with the flow at this point, and giving myself grace because yesterday was pretty hard. But I'm hoping that today will be better, and better than the previous day as well. So probably not. I guess we're gonna find out. All right, so I'm I'm in the car, but I just like want to talk about routines. Because I have routines that keep me sane when I leave for the morning. And none of them have to do with writing, but all of them have to do with my mental health. One of them is taking coffee every morning. So I have this thing where I just do my coffee. I have to have all my liquids, and I also have a protein shake, which I find is really helpful when you don't have time for anything. If you want to get your daily counts of anything, put it in a cup. Hello, it is Friday morning. A little bit of a jump in timeline. I didn't end up writing yesterday, which is fine because I needed a break. It was a kind of a hard day yesterday. My coworker, I was like in the office, and my coworker was like, are you okay? You're looking a little rough. And I'm like, thanks. I had like my hair like this. I was like this. It was pretty bad. It was day 2 of no washing my hair. So I can only survive 36 hours of no hair washing. So after the 36th hour, it starts to look a little rough. So yeah, it was just kind of funny because he was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that in an offensive way, you just look kind of disheveled. And I'm like, well, you're right. And he's just the kind of person that's that just says things that come to his mind, and like, I'm not offended, because I'm pretty easygoing as well. So yeah, yesterday was rough, and so was today, because I actually learned, and this is good. This is a good thing. My husband is actually well enough and improving rapidly enough to be able to come home to be discharged, which is great, but it is not something that we expected. So we expected 2 weeks from now. And I told my work that, and so it's just a lot of really unplanned things, which evidently I don't do well with. So it's just one of those unexpected life events that I just kind of have to learn to roll with the punches, which is fine. So yeah, I'm currently in a car. I stepped away from his room to grab him some tissues, and I'm working remotely from the hospital today. But part of I guess the frustration bit behind him being discharged is that he has to have a 24/7 caregiver at home, and that caregiver is me. And so I thought it was going to be like end of June that was going to be happening. So it's a little bit early for us in that timeline, which it's okay, but I'm going to have to work remotely if my work will allow it during the month of June. So who knows, maybe I won't be employed next week. I'm joking to some extent. But I'm working with them to try and keep my job, I guess, during this time. Yeah, so great time to start a writing vlog. It's good. I like keeping track of myself and my days, and kind of creating like mementos that I'll be able to look back upon to see, like, oh, I was filming in a parking garage, because you can hear the cars going, I'm on level 5. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a good memento to hold on to. Hoping today that I'll be able to do some writing, and maybe over the weekend. I know this Sunday is probably going to be busy, but in the downtime I have, I think I'll try to, like, even writing on my phone. That's been a level of success for me. I don't mind celebrating the small wins, which is kind of what you have to do during times that are really unmotivating. So celebrating small wins. I think I mentioned writing a sentence a day is really helpful, even though I didn't even do that yesterday, which is fine. It's fine to take rests when you need it. So yeah, well, hopefully today, Friday, will go well, and I will see you in later. So it is Saturday evening, and today indeed sucked. Worse than yesterday. Sucked more than yesterday? I don't know. I did not, in fact, get anything done on Friday when it came to writing. But I am rewatching my favorite anime, My Hero Academia, as kind of my therapy go-to to kind of wind down after being in the hospital with my husband. So this is turning out to be more of like less of a writing vlog for now, and more of just like how I live my life as a caregiver and somebody who's either in a car or in the hospital room or at work. So I mentioned yesterday that we learned that my husband might be able to come home on Sunday, which means tomorrow. That is not the case. Our doctors have been super miscommunicative with us, or uncommunicative, and there's just a lot of miscommunication going on with our understanding of his discharge. So that's been very frustrating. Things that I've kind of found that has really helped me unwind into understanding that my goals are flexible right now, and that's okay, because I'm going through something that's really traumatic, and so is my husband, and I'm kind of walking through it with him. But one of the things that has helped me is understanding that my goals need to be flexible right now for my time in this point in my life. So the fact that I got any writing done this week, I got like 2,000 words in, that's phenomenal for me, because it has been a struggle for me for years actually to get anything out. Starting a new project like the Project Summer, about my boy band, that was a last-ditch effort to dive into something that was fluffy and happy, and it didn't have any preconceptions of publishing with it. I just want to do fun things with it and kind of write for me. So writing is actually a therapy for me, I have found. I took a break this week and wrote about 1,000 words during work. And that was a really good breather in between kind of chaotic projects at work, and writing makes me happy. Writing makes me feel alive and in the head of somebody who's not me. I mean, I know the characters in my head, but I'm writing through their perspective, if that makes sense. So like I actually like embody my characters when I am writing. Like I am like, okay, I am this person. I am writing from their perspective, and that kind of gives me some outlets for some of my emotions. I've recently been thinking about a new story idea. This has kind of been percolating. This is why I can't get anything finished. But I'm not going to start it until I finish Project Summer and Project Hollow. I say this now. But I've been thinking about a new story idea, but it's just based on rage. Because I've been thinking, I'm like, wow, what would a really angry character say in this situation? And I think I'm projecting. So my current characters I'm writing don't have anger management issues like I do. So I usually just like blow things up or add serial killers to my stories to kind of alleviate some of my rage, and maybe that's not healthy, but it's just kind of what I do. That's also what I do when I get bored, is just add random things to my stories. Anyway, so yeah, I've been kind of thinking about kind of just sentences that are really filled with emotion, because emotion is so much part of how I write. Is my characters definitely are just emotional, and the emotions I'm feeling when I am writing often bleed into the writing, which if it's not a fit later down the road, I can always revise out. I don't really mind. But if it gets the words out, I'm fine with that. So, anywho, that's been kind of my week this week. It has been a very rough ride. I've cried probably every day just from stress. Had a couple breakdowns in front of staff. Which I normally don't do. I usually cry in my little corner and, cover it up and stuff. As you may know, I do not handle emotion well, meaning negative emotion, meaning sadness. Emotion is often my driving factor, and I didn't realize it, I guess, until since the last year, really, when I became really angry about my situation. I'm just like a rage-filled writer. That's so fantastic. Has been helping me too with kind of just my coping mechanisms around how I am existing as a creative, is listening to audiobooks. Audiobooks have been saving my life. I have for the longest time been unable to read a physical book because of my attention span. I don't know what broke me. I don't know if it was college. I used to, when I was in my teens, be able to complete a 400-page novel just like that. But now I cannot. My max limit for books in a year is probably 10 to 15. And last week, I just finished 25. And that is because of audiobooks. And I know that they are different, but for me, different in the sense that like people have arguments about, oh, it's not real reading, and I just think that's just bullshit. Sorry. Because for me, it's getting involved in the story and getting invested in the characters and walking alongside them. That's reading to me. Now, if you're reading from a writing perspective, looking at the physical book, yeah, go for it. You need to use look at the syntax and see how it's happening on the page. Like, I totally get that. But audiobooking is totally reading. Like, get out. So, yeah, that has been really saving my life, because I have felt for so long that I felt inadequate almost, because all my friends were able to read all of these books on their shelves, and I have like a series that are over a decade, like 15 years old. How old am I? Yeah, 15 years old that have been on my shelves and are on my shelves now that I haven't finished, and I'm finally getting through them. And that's really exciting. It's like a sense of accomplishment in finishing something that I haven't touched in 10 years. And so that kind of ties back to the season of doing in a time of extreme turmoil for me and my family, which also means creating a YouTube vlog and creating words on the page and reading. And that is my creativity, is just doing so that I can get through, and doing so that I can survive. And that doing might look different depending on the day. It might be watching my favorite series or rewatching Downton Abbey and getting inspired, or walking in the park, or talking to a camera about how I function on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, the doing can look like so many different things, I have found, and I'm rambling at this point, but all that to say is your creative life might look different from everybody around you. I know the comparison game is really hard for myself. For the longest time, I compared myself to other writers who were just outputting like 20,000, 50,000 words in a month, and I'm like, I can barely get 1,000 words in a month at this point in my life. And I used to be able to, because I used to be able to do so much more. I was a 3-time NaNoWriMo winner, National Novel Writing Month winner, which is where you write 50,000 words in a month. And I can't do that anymore. I don't have I could, but my lifestyle and the shit that I've been going through just doesn't track with that kind of success. So I have tried to shift my focus into what success means for myself as a creative. So whether that is finishing a novel, finishing a series I absolutely love that tells an amazing story, whether that is writing 100 words, whether that is writing a sentence, or writing for 20 minutes, like timing myself instead of saying, oh, I'm going to write 5,000 words. And then when I don't, it's just failure. And I'm just tired of feeling like a failure, because really, am I? Like, who am I failing? If I am feeding my creative self at this point in my life, that is all I care about, man. I'm just trying to survive and do what makes me happy and feel alive. And I hope that you are also doing the same thing. So, I guess down in the comments, let me know what you are doing to feel alive as a creative or as just a human being, whether it be making tea, petting your cat, or poking your cat, or kicking your cat. No, I have done neither of those things. Anyway. Yeah, just let me know in the comments what makes you feel alive. Well, that was my week. It was kind of a trash fire, but kind of productive. So I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you like this content, please subscribe and do a like if you like the video. So thanks. I'll see you next time.